This video is brought to you by
Cut support, man. Come on now.
Hey, man, big love in the city, man. Stopping the trap on the boys,
I'm gonna
man.
support my brother, man, my black brother. The price is right. Treat yourself. Don't beat yourself.
Exactly.
Beat your feet down the street and get one of these cool green headbands. Do you understand what I'm saying, my man? Deuces, holla back, cool green dude.
Exactly. Man, let them know, man, what you like about that cool green.
If you're not cooling and getting the green, then you gotta get out the way. You know what it is.
Exactly, man. Exactly, man. I couldn't have said it no better.
What is going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Be sure to smash that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story. It's a lot of information. Let's get right into it. Sometimes in the streets, when individuals start beefing, it's no silver lining. No chances of working it out or squashing the situation, especially if one person made a move first against the other. That just leads to back and forth and tick for tack, get back. But what happens when the beef gets so bad that innocent people become targets? And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we will be discussing a case of an alleged street war that cost the life of a father, truck driver, and Baltimore activist, Kendall Fenwick, who had nothing to do with the situation at all. According to sources, Kendall was a Park Heights resident and understood the environment he was living in at the time had crime, people trapping, and everything that goes on in the inner city. Often speaking about crime in Baltimore and working to keep his kids safe, Kendall even was in the process of building a fence around his yard to keep the dope boys from cutting through his yard so his children wouldn't be exposed to that kind of lifestyle. But on November 4th, 2015, around 9 p.m., when a man named Devontae Brim was visiting his grandmother's home on 2816 Hilldale Avenue, allegedly Devontae, his homeboy, and others were sitting on the porch when a man came through and shot at Devontae's grandmother's house. Even though his homie returned fire and no one was hit, when BPD arrived, they found the Glock 22 at the scene with the alleged suspect, which we will call T, his DNA on the scene. According to sources, Devontae was heated and told his girlfriend at the time he was beefing with T, but he didn't believe it was that serious. But now he had to get back at him for disrespecting his grandmother's home. Allegedly, Devontae and his people were looking for T, even running up in the house he hung at with Blitz, but he wasn't nowhere to be found. But one night, about 5 days after the shooting, according to sources, Devontae had enough and told his girlfriend, "Man, take me to find yo." They hopped in the whip and rode a few blocks when they pulled up near 3512 Park Heights Avenue. Devontae allegedly got out the whip, ran up an alleyway, and let off shots before running back to the car, telling the female he was with to drive off because he had hit somebody running down the alley. After the shooting, residents in the area discovered it was Kendall Fenwick who was shot 9 times and was laying in a dark area between two houses. Once BPD arrived, unfortunately, Kendall was gone. They found shell casings at the scene, but no one knew what happened or who would hurt the young father and activist. But as the street started talking, Devontae's name would pop up on BPD's radar. And 9 days after the shooting, he was picked up and questioned. Allegedly, he told police during his interview he knew they were coming because of his beef with T and the shootings in the area at the time. But Devontae stated he never even owned a gun and definitely didn't know what happened to Kendall. Even telling BPD his homie who was on the porch with him at the time, who let off shots back at T, was more mad than he was about the situation and wanted revenge, saying his homie told him he went looking for T, but that was it. But Devontae would allegedly slip up after telling a female friend, "Don't talk to police." He also told the young lady who drove him to the scene to say they never was there and they was in East Baltimore at the time of the shooting. But even with not a lot of evidence, Devontae was charged with the hit of Kendall, and once the case went to court, prosecutors painted the picture that Devontae was upset T would blick at his grandmother's home. But after looking for him one night, he decided to go where they hung out at and shoot at anybody in the area. And since it was dark, he didn't realize who he hit at the time. And as witnesses took the stand, including the young ladies who knew about the beef, they alleged the prosecution were right. And that's what happened. But with lack of evidence, the jury at first could not reach a verdict. After a few mistrials, Devontae's lawyer put in a motion to dismiss the case because lack of evidence, even stating it was double jeopardy and witnesses were not reliable at the time. But eventually, as the case went on, Devontae was sentenced to 65 years in prison after pleading guilty to second-degree hit. As the state declared it a case of mistaken identity, claiming Devontae was so mad he didn't know who Kendall was, just wanted payback. Kendall Fenwick was 24 years old at the time, a truck driver and raising 3 kids. The case gained national attention because the fence Kendall was building to keep his kids away from the trapping and violence in the area, and for the same thing he was worried about, to take him away from them. A street sign in Park Heights was dedicated to the young father and activist. More of this story, regular everyday citizens should not have to pay the cost for street activity or should not lose their lives just because we're part of the city they live in. If the beef is that deep, if you are in the streets, remember, just because a person is in a certain area doesn't make them a target. But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, rest in peace, Kendall, you feel me? Real messed up story, you know what I mean? On the brighter side of things, they did finish his dream. They built the fence, you know what I mean, in the alleyway he was trying to build it at, that split the 2 homes. You know, that's them right there, finishing it up. A lot of people came out to show support. You know, like I said, they gave him a street sign. And it's just crazy, you know, at the end of the day, just a case of mistaken identity. Not even a case of mistaken identity, just somebody wanting to get back because somebody allegedly did to them, and to go in the area and just blick at anybody out there, you feel me? I guess they felt like that if they in the area, they cool with yo and them, so that's what happened, you know what I mean? But unfortunate situation, you know, bro got 65 years. It's crazy because at the end of the day, he ain't even get revenge. You know, he ended up going to prison, man. It's crazy it be like that, man. Real messed up story, you feel me? I definitely send my prayers and condolences to the family of Kendall. He got 3 kids out there that he was taking care of, he was raising, trying to do the right thing as a young father out here, which a lot of people say us as black men don't do, you feel me? He was trying to keep his kids safe, keep them out the way, keep them out of trouble. So yeah, man, real messed up story, man. But y'all already know this is another episode of the Baltimore Way. I appreciate you if you made it to the end, fam. Be sure to smash that like button. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.